When we look at the Old Testament, there's a lot of stories that are hard to believe. And the story of Noah's Ark is no different. And what I'm trying to figure out today is, was the world really populated by Noah's descendants only? And if so, there are more questions that come up with that, such as incest being the biggest one. So I have a couple scriptures that bring me down to a couple theories of what actually happened. If we go to Genesis chapter 4, verse 4, it states, "For in 7 days I will send rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living thing that I have made I will blot out from the face of the ground." So that means that everything's dead except for what's on the ark, meaning Noah's family is all that would be left. We go a little bit further into Genesis verses 22 to 23. "Everything on dry land in whose nostrils were the breath of life died. He blotted out every living thing that was on the face of the ground, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heavens. They were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those who were with him in the ark." So that's, again, confirmation that everybody's dead except for Noah and who's with him in the ark. So who is with him in the ark? If we go back to Genesis chapter 6, verses 10, "And Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth." If we then move to Genesis chapter 7, verse 6, "Noah was 600 years when the flood of the waters came upon the earth. And Noah and his sons and his wives and his sons' wives went with him into the ark to escape the waters of the flood." So Noah and his wife and his sons wife. So that's 8 people. That is all that is left on the earth, is 8 people. And then after the flood, in Genesis 9 verses 1, "And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, 'Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth.'" And if you go further along, Noah doesn't have any more kids, so that I saw that were mentioned. So that leaves only 6 people. 3 brothers and their wives is all that is left to repopulate the earth, which means that all life came from incest. So with that, I only have 4 theories on what happened from then to now. And the first one is that since they were so close to the fall, they had better genes and better health, which I'm inferring from the lifespan difference from now versus then, since Noah, it was 600 years old when the flood came, and Adam was around 900 years old. So it's like there's a deteriorating lifespan as time moves forward. So even though incest was still at play, the genes and the defects may not have been an issue because the human genetics were more pure back in the Garden of Eden than they are now. My second theory is that it is just based off of miracles, since God can control the gene pool at least until the population reached a normal state, but this isn't mentioned anywhere, at least that I saw. The next theory is a bit of a long shot, but it's that other people were still alive. But that seems very unlikely because Genesis chapter 7 verses 22 states everybody else was dead. So I feel like I have to cancel that one out as not valid, because unless I have a translation or context issue, I see it as everybody is dead other than Noah and his family. My fourth and final theory is that this is not a literal story, but is a fictional one. Though it seems that the people are real and the genealogy is passed forward to people that we are supposed to believe are real in further biblical text, it also seems like the promise that God would not flood the earth again is less genuine if the whole story was fictional. But from a logical standpoint, this one makes the most sense to me because it is the most realistic, as if it never happened. Because if it did happen, there's all these issues as incest, and even if that is the case, the moral implications of that. And also the entire story of the entire world being flooded and archaeological evidence that should be from that. So it's hard to speculate that it's a true story because it doesn't seem like a true story. It seems a little too far out of the realm of possibility to me. But it also doesn't feel like it's told as a fictional story, since it seems to have real people and measurements for the ark and time spent building it. All of these real verses where it feels like the story has been fleshed out to be a true story. So to end this, I'm not sure on which stance to take. I'm hoping that there's other stances and other theories that are more in line with a practical viewpoint, or ideas that might be a little easier for me to accept. Even though I don't need to accept them, I just have a hard time with these older stories that seem extremely unrealistic. So please let me know if you have any other ideas or understanding of what happened. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.